Hello and welcome back, everyone. I'm Lucky Owl 360, and I'm here to introduce this 100% Luigi's Mansion speedrun by JJsrl.
Hello, hello.
We are so excited, and JJ wanted to open up with explaining a glitch that we do right at the beginning of the run. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, before this glitch even starts, or like before the run even starts, we're gonna do this glitch. When I press the Y button, we open up this map, and this happens after every single time you collect a key in the game. So if we talk to Toad, and Toad's really sad, and then he gets happy, and then he gets sad again.
It's rough out there. Rough out there as a Toad in Dark Mansion.
But if we cancel talking to Toad, open up the map, and reset all at the same time, it will just disable the map for how long the Wii is on for. So now, anytime that I will try and open the map, it won't open the map. Anytime I grab the key, it won't open the map, and that saves about 10 to 15 seconds over the course of the whole run. But I think I am ready to go.
Alrighty. Looking forward to seeing you run.
Yes, game audio is good. All right, I can do a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here we go. Luigi's Mansion 100%.
Let's do it.
All right. I am so excited. JJ, thank you for inviting me to be your commentator for this. This is actually my favorite speed game and category to watch.
It's very fun. It involves a lot of like little routing over the course of the entire run. Compared to No Out of Bounds, it's very linear. The goal of 100%, I'll actually let you explain that, because there's a lot of different requirements that are actually needed in terms of 100%.
Yeah, typically what we're looking for in 100% is you need to get all of the portrait ghosts and you need to get all of the boos, which there are 50. Additionally, the most important thing is you need to get 100 money, 100 gold. So that is going to be the most important part because you can actually complete your entire speedrun not knowing whether or not it's going to be a valid 100%. So you're going to see JJ doing a lot of decision making throughout the run as he tries to keep track of approximately where he thinks his money is going to be.
Yeah, and you'll see here, once I grab this key, I'll be able to start moving immediately. Normally, the map would just open and we'd have to close it, which only takes half a second, but we pick up a lot of keys over the course of the run, so
It adds up.
it does add up.
All right, so you will see during the downtime while we're waiting for the ghosts to spawn in the rooms, you'll see JJ checking, drawers, checking wardrobes, looking for gold. You want to see things like that gold bar that just popped out because it is really important to get as much money as possible, and the spawns are random. So you actually can get no money from a spawn, or you can even get a mushroom that'll shrink you and render you unable to use your vacuum for several seconds. It's a huge time loss. So we will see a lot of decision making and a lot of RNG in this run, but so far things are going pretty well.
Yeah, so far things are comfy. There are going to be two ghosts here. It may look like you want to get a double here, but it's actually faster to get the first ghost, because that is the main one that will spawn the second set of ghosts. The other one is just a bonus.
Yeah, most places you're going to want to see, trying to get as many ghosts together at once. And you're also going to see going for the Speedy Spirit here. So this is an optional ghost. You don't have to get these to clear the room. Ooh, take a little
bit of damage, but maybe be able to get some money.
Yeah,
I was mostly worried about that banana, that's why.
The bananas are such a pain about this particular ghost. And also, you can actually push these ghosts around, so they can move into uncomfortable positions sometimes. Luckily, picking up a little extra money from the wardrobe as well, which will be nice.
Yeah, I got a little bit of backup money. I usually check it once the key spawns, but I'm able to just grab this key here.
All right, so mitigating some of the time loss there from dealing with that green ghost. We will be moving on to the next area.
Yeah, now we're going to be heading to the Area 1 hallway, which is... there are 4 areas in the game, and they all have like a boss at the end of it. And then once you finish the boss, you count up the money, and then you just move on to the next area.
All right, so we're about to see our first portrait ghost in just a moment here. Something really important about the portrait ghosts is that they actually drop pearls, and the large pearls are worth 1 million each. So you want to try to get as many of those as possible. You will see JJ trying to go for pearl dupes, which is essentially if you walk up at the same moment that the vacuum is sucking in, you can actually collect the pearl both with the walk-up animation and with the vacuum animation. So we will be trying to go for as many of those as possible when it's convenient to do so. For now, just grabbing all the pearls in this area and headed on to the second portrait ghost.
Yeah, the main thing with pearl dupes, other than like a few specifics here and there, is that you need an element. because you need to be able to activate part of the element. But you can do it based off of like a chair or something.
Right.
If you throw them in the air and then re-trigger the vacuum.
Yes. Alrighty.
Yeah, and there's a couple areas in this game that are very, very laggy. This is one of them. Another one is coming up, or will come up like in Area 4. But
All right.
for now, we're heading to our first boss.
Headed over to our first boss. This will be Chauncey. And I believe you go for the text skip, right?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to see JJ will be headed over to the left side of the room here. And we'll try to get the ball in just a moment after the rocking chair spawns Chauncey over on the bottom left corner. And this will skip a little bit of text between Chauncey. And that'll get us in.
Yeah, if we move anywhere else in the area, Chauncey will talk to us like first, and then we have to throw the ball at him. But I forgot who actually found it. I'm not sure of a lot of names, but all you know is that if you span that corner and activate the rocking chair from far away, you're actually able to just hit him without needing the text.
All right, and here we go for our first boss fight. This is Chauncey, and we will be, I believe, seeing a regular 2-cycle boss fight here. But there is actually a strategy that came out like in the past year or so that allows you to 1-cycle. It is very tough, and while JJ is definitely capable of this long term, I do know that he mains Sunshine and is actually just shy of world record, had the world record until a few days ago, so I believe that he will be going for this at some point in the future, but we will be seeing probably a 2-cycle here.
Yeah, well, barely missed that.
Gonna
I was
go
trying
for
to grab it
ball.
on the way down. These, the balls actually fall relatively in the same place. The reason why I leave him above 50 HP is that Chauncey has 2 different types of cycles, before 50 HP and below 50 HP. And the below 50 HP, he'll throw like an extra set of rocking chairs, and that's not really as fast.
All right. Come up here. We're going to dodge this rocking horse. You will see him take damage on the second one. That'll allow us to go into the next ball drop faster. All right.
That's the first
And
boss.
it's a clean 2-cycle. And we are done with Area 1. Well done. All right, going to pick up the key.
And there's the first set key, or I guess the first boss key.
Well done.
If we were doing 90%, we would use that chest to clip out of bounds and do a bunch of other stuff, but times have changed. We actually don't even use the chest anymore. We use a mouse to clip out of bounds before we even fight Chauncey. This game is getting more and more broken as time goes on.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's a smaller community, but it is a very passionate and dedicated one. And you will see if you do speedrunning of this game, even if you're just trying to pick it up, lots and lots of high-level runners will actually just come into your chat and try to help you out. We've got a lot of people like working really hard at this category. It's like really loved game. All right, we do have to go through this cutscene between every area where EGAT explains the process of turning the ghosts back into portraits that were originally released into the mansion. I think he says something about like selling them at a garage sale.
I think something like that. I don't remember exactly. I haven't played on like just the regular English
US
version
in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Something you won't really see in the speedrun if you play casually is you can actually go to the gallery, and in the gallery there are paintings of all the ghosts that you've captured so far, and you can learn a little about each of them. So we are going to see floor 1 now. This is area 2. And asking who is on comms. This is Lucky Owl 360. Hello, hello. I am a Mario speedrunner, but I love Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion is a really fun game. Maybe you could explain why I'm looking at the ceiling so
Yes,
much.
I was planning on doing
Yeah.
that. Yeah, so you will see JJ maneuvering a lot, like looking up at the ceiling or just facing away from like our view. That's to avoid a lot of these like little small ghosts that can spawn, particularly the ones from the ceiling. They drop down and like Luigi will do like a jump square. You lose time to that. You can also bump into them. So he's going to be walking around a lot in such a way as to avoid as many ghost spawns as possible. We're not as concerned with like the little mice and things. If he runs into those, he's not really going to lose time, but we are going to try to avoid those ceiling spawns as much as we can. All right. And now we are headed into the ballroom. This is another aspect of RG where, okay, not quite getting the double there. Gonna pick it back up, get the masks off of these Shy Guys.
They're
Woo!
being hit from a very far away distance.
Yeah, they're kind of spread out. Normally you see them drop closely together, but there is a lot of RNG in this game. We're gonna see even more later on, but try to go for a couple of, there we go. We're gonna get double there on the last pair and not quite getting stabbed with the last Shy Guy, so we're gonna be okay. So now the ballroom ghosts are going to spawn, and this is where we're going to see whether or not we get early release. It is completely random. The ghosts can show their hearts in just a moment here. We'll see if they do.
Nice.
And we get it! Let's go! That's going to save us some time. Normally they have quite a long animation before they show, so we are happy with early release.
Yeah, the only thing is that these pearls spawn all over the place.
They do. They often
just trying to be
spawn
able to pick
pretty
them
far.
all up.
All right. And now we are getting close to the boo release. We're going to see a little bit of something here. So after we get this first ghost, you'll see JJ kind of walking against this wall here. And he's actually sucking off a poster that will allow us to save some time when the room opens, so you can just push the button to release the boos. So far going really well. Got the poster, no problem. Just got a couple more ghosts here. Really nice doubles. Timing those animations really well and pushing the button right as the lights go on. So we're on pretty good pace here.
Yeah, this run's not off to a bad start. Just a little bit of mess up in area 1, but other than that, feeling pretty comfy. Getting early release definitely helps.
Yeah, and you got a lot of money in wardrobe room too. So
Yes.
money pace isn't terrible yet.
Yeah, normally a poster would be there, but you can just walk up and press the button. So it's really nice.
Yeah, when I played this casually, I actually I didn't see the button that's in the mirror for the longest time.
Oh.
So I was like not sure what to do at all. They do not explain it. All right, so now we've released all the boos. There are 50 in total. We will need to get every single one, and then King Boo at the end in order to complete the game. And this is where a lot of the RNG factor kicks up because the boo locations are random and they also can move. Additionally, the boos can have like kind of decoys placed. There's a bomb decoy and a ball decoy. So you can actually think that there's a boo in a location and you get the ball or the bomb instead. So we'll see how RNG is going for this run because it's a big factor.
Yeah, especially like early on, it would definitely like decide how the run is going to flow.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I did it at the very beginning, and I'm doing it throughout the course of this entire run, but I'm entering the Hidden Mansion, which is basically like a new game plus version of the game compared to just playing the original. You suck up a lot of the ghosts faster, you take more damage, but
All right.
usually helps out.
Right now, sucking off half of the tablecloth there, that's a strat. We're setting up for a tech skip.
Unfortunately, it was the bomb.
Yeah, the boo is in the claw, so we won't be able to get the tech skip. You will see that between every boo capture, we're going to get a few texts from EGAD. He's going to explain some things and ask you to save your game. Unfortunately, we're getting a long one, too, because it's the first boo. But you can actually, if you suck up the tablecloth with the boo, you can avoid that text skip. You can avoid the text box entirely. All right, second. Nope. Bad RNG so far.
Yeah, not the best RNG, but
Going to be in the third location. That's okay. We got a lot of game to go.
there's a lot of boos to catch.
Alrighty. 2 down. The text is another aspect of RNG. You can get, there's several different texts that we can get, and they are varying in length. So early on, we'll see how that goes. And then as we get later towards the point where we start getting the Vanguard text, that can add a lot of time. So.
And that was one of the elements of like just reading the boo radar. When you enter that room, I'm looking directly at the radar and seeing how fast it is blinking. And if it shows red, then I know to look down. If it's flashing really fast, I'll know to check up. But there's a lot of like, even though there is a lot of RNG, being able to read the radar is a huge skill factor in this game.
Absolutely.
Like it blinked really fast there for a second, so I know that a boo or a decoy is in one of those close chairs.
Exactly. Yep, and you're going to be checking the boxes. Boos are always going to be there. Looking quick here.
And the main way to catch boos and keeping them in place is doing something called R pumping. I'll let you explain that.
Yeah, so we can actually R pump after every 10 HP, and that'll keep the boo kind of in place. It normally will move around quite a lot, and we don't want the boo to leave the room, obviously. Want to try to get it in one cycle as much as you can. You can actually do it for 150 health. Actually, it's It's 250. No,
I think it's 150.
it is 150. I second guessed myself there. 150 held before like it has to go away and it doesn't let you anymore. So you're gonna see a lot of that going on here, and
Yeah.
probably gonna one cycle most of the boos in the first couple of areas here. But as we get towards the later half of the game, that's where you're gonna see 2 cycles, and maybe sometimes 3 depending on how things go.
Yeah, it really depends on how attic goes, because in the attic you'll hit
Yeah.
a lot of like the 300 HP boos, so no
Yeah.
matter what, you're going to be 2-cycling them. But depends on how you can manipulate where they go, which room that they go, and trying to get at least 150 HP.
All right, and another thing here that a lot of people, if they haven't played the game casually, don't even know is that taking a picture of any mirror actually warps you back down to the main area. So you'll see a lot of that just for the routing when we need to get back to that main area as quickly as possible. All right, and we're actually about to be getting our first element here. We're going to be grabbing the fire. That's going to allow us to start going for those pearl dupes. And you're going to be seeing JJ's going to attempt to skip having to go through the entire explanation of how the fire element works by picking it up once we get the lights on and get that boo. He's going to be trying to suck up the boo and land where the fire element drops. All right. The ghost
I think
went
it
well.
might be. Oh, it just moved.
It just moved.
Check in here, might be in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. We're going to open the chest, and then we're going to try to pull the boo back and land right there on the fire element. That looks good.
Yeah,
We
this
heard
is
the
good.
animation, so we are all set. So now we can just save and quit instead of going through that whole explanation of how the elements work. It saves a lot of time. And go back into the mansion.
Yeah, but now we have fire, so like Lucky Owl said, we can use this for pearl duping, that's the main thing, but it's also used just to progress further into the game.
Yes, it is necessary to progress. We do have 3 elements in total. We have water and ice left to get as well. And then we'll be off to the end. All right. And lighting those gets this key to drop. We will be coming back to this room later on for a very fun, some people call it the carpal tunnel split later on with a lot of mashing. Right now, we're kind of focused on trying to clear Area 2 and also get all the items for Mario, because right now we don't know where he is.
I have no idea where Mario is.
Yeah, we got sent to this mansion. We were given like a little vacation pamphlet. And I don't know if you know this, JJ, but the Japanese translation actually kind of more loosely translates to Luigi's condo. So it's kind
Oh.
of funny. It's almost like it's like a timeshare scam. All right, so there's our first item missing from Mario. It's his hat. We're gonna clear a couple of ghosts in here.
Get the hats.
And
You can do a it's called like a chest unlock skip, basically when the room is cleared and you grab the hat at the same, or like almost the same time, and it skips the animation of the chest spawning. But in this specific room, we're already gonna be leaving the room as the chest spawns, so there's not really much point.
Yeah, we're trying to save time because right now we're waiting for the butler to come and sit down here. And we also want to make sure the mouse hole's open because we're going to be getting a text skip here from the boo. We have to wait for this butler to get down here and sit down before you can get him. So very nice one cycle here.
I'm trying to I want to get this off ideally.
I'm going to try to position for the pearl dupe.
I'm
Not going to work.
not gonna get it, but I think the boo just moved back to where I just checked, so I can just grab it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the boos can go back to places you've already checked. Very inconvenient when they go to the opposite side of the room. And there's our first mushroom, but we're going to be well on the other side. And we got through the mouse hole, so no text skip. I mean, no text box here. And fun fact about the mouse holes that is very obnoxious is actually you have to position, when you're taking the camera pictures, you have to position it slightly off from the hole because if it's right in the center, it doesn't work for some reason. Really nice job actually getting all of those in one go. That's a really hard room to clear, especially with the bats coming down. So Jay just kind of killing it right now.
I think it might be in here.
Try
Oh,
to
it's in
get-
this chest.
Try to get the boo to spawn and then grab all the gems before it comes out and prepare for a second text skip here. Going back through the mouse hole.
We're getting a lot of money in here. It's actually not the boo, so I think it's on the left side.
Yep.
It's actually up top.
All right.
The last one I had to check.
Classic boo RNG. Hopefully it's setting you up for good RNG in the later half of the run because we'd prefer that honestly. So we'll deal with it. All right. Headed out here. And there actually is another tech skip you can do in this room. This is the washroom by sucking up that little towel that JJ was just sucking up part of. But it is really hard to do, and it's very punishing if you don't get the boo here. So we're not going to go for that this time. And we're just going to head out of the washroom here. Bill count's looking pretty good so far, and you got 5 gold bars. Like, money's not bad.
Yeah, money's looking pretty good. I'm hoping to get as many dupes as I can, but dupes are very, very difficult.
They are. Yeah, they're really challenging. It's considered like you're pretty good if you're getting like 3 or more in a run, and the top level runners get like 7+. It's actually insane. But you have to be perfect to get them, and also even just the location of where the pearl drops can impact your ability to do so.
And the main thing about pearl dupes is like once you get better with pearl dupes and more consistent with them, you can actually route out gems. And when you get a gem, it's like the whole animation of like Luigi looking at the camera. So the more gems that you skip, the more time that you get to save, and it adds up a lot when you have a very high gem or a very high dupe route.
Absolutely, yeah. Routing is a huge deal in 100%. Getting the money as fast as possible makes a huge difference. And then, of course, you want to make sure you have your 100 gold so that you actually have a valid run. All right. So this is Melody, the piano playing ghost. She actually has 2 songs that she can play there. Okay, not quite grabbing the dupe there, but good attempt. And we're going to be looking for this boo in this room here.
I think I got some dupes, though. I think I duped some mediums.
You definitely might have duped some mediums. I haven't checked your pearl count, but...
I had 5 big pearls and 23 mediums.
Oh,
so I'm pretty sure I duped a few mediums.
Yeah, you must have. That's really great, because you get 4 small, 4 medium, and 1 large from each portrait ghost, so we are ahead of schedule here.
Yeah, I'm just going to grab some extra fire just to be safe, because I don't want to run out of fire in this room, and I needed to get a ruby in the final room.
All right, and then with this portrait ghost, he has a really long kind of animation cycle thing that it goes through before we get to the point where we can actually suck the vacuum up. So we actually do this room in the meantime. We're going to be getting our second element here, which is the water element, in just a moment, and we get a red gem. Red gems are also worth 1,000,000 gold, so you will see people go out of their way for these, and that's kind of what JJ was talking about when we were talking about routing and skipping things. You're always going to get this one because it's just really on the way. But there are several that runners do skip just because if you can, you want to save as much time as possible.
Yeah, but you hear him throwing out fire, the guy in the other room, during this entire time. So I'm trying to find out where the boo is.
Yep.
Spray down this water because I don't have to deal when it comes back. All right, so the boo is in the furnace. That's what I know for a fact because there was one in the carpet, and then there was one on that side, but it just moved over. So all I have to do is just check the current on the other, or the furnace on the other side, and it should be fine. There's also a boo in here, but hopefully I'll remember that for next time. But I know that the boo is right over here.
All right, and there it is. Making quick work of these boos so far. And we are headed back outside, where we're actually going to be revisiting a few times. We are getting close to our second boss already, but first we're going to get this this ghost here. The dog actually is one of the portrait ghosts, but we're going to be watering this plant. So there are actually 2 gold diamonds in the game. One of them comes from this plant, and the other one is for getting all of the boos. And you actually do have to come back to this area a couple more times before the plant is ready to drop the diamond. So it is necessary for 100% to get both of those. Not really going to be getting 100 gold without them, so we will be returning here a few times.
I was trying to go for a dupe, but I was going too fast, so my vacuum was still out.
Yeah, this area I think is one where people do like try to go for the dupe quite a bit, but you do have this red gem here that comes out of the pipe. We will be okay.
Yeah, and I'm pulling out my element a little bit every single time I'm in a dark area. And that is mostly because when you pull out an element, it actually skips the animation of having to pull out the flashlight, so you can just start moving immediately.
Yeah, a lot of little optimizations that help with this run because Luigi just kind of walks at a set pace, so you got to do what you can with the flashlight, with the vacuum, and positioning to make the most of any time save you can get here. So this is our second boss that we're coming up on. This is Bogmire, and I don't know how frequently you one-cycle this, but this is, I'd say, like one of the more one-cyclable ghosts.
It's very one-cyclable, but there are some times where he really just wants to pull you away.
Yeah, it is a tough one, but fortunately, the first time he always spawns in the same location. We'll be seeing him in the bottom right. We have to just get one of these shadows, shoot it at him, and then we'll see if JJ's able to get the one-cycle here as we wrap up Area 2. All right, here we go. Frogmire does pull quite a bit.
I almost got him.
Running
Very close.
running into the clone.
I think I would have had it if I didn't get pulled into the shadow.
Yeah, it was just bad luck there, but it was really close. Very quick 2-cycle.
But like I said, it was a very rough start because there's sometimes where he will go into the fence and then you're able to one-cycle him super easily. But there are times like that where right out of the gate he'll just pull you, and you have to use the C stick to try and pull him back.
All right, so we are now through Area 2. We'll be going back through that cutscene where EGAT explains the process. And also, we won't really be able to see it, but they do flash up the money on the screen. So sometimes if you're really fast, you can kind of glance at what your money pace is looking like.
Yeah. I especially like for marathon type of runs, I usually like slow myself down just a little bit, just so I can get a little glance to see how I'm doing. But right now, I feel like I'm around like 20 million. That's my goal. If I'm at 19, I realize I'm a bit low and I need to get like a lot of backups. But we'll see. I did get a lot of bills. I duped a lot. I think I duped 3 mediums, so.
Yeah, I believe so. Your medium pro count was looking pretty good, and we did get a lot of bills early on. Money RNG was a little slower in Area 2, but it was not bad. All right. So all his ghosts are back into portraits. Fun fact: the gold rims are actually because the ghost was one-cycled. It's actually not going to be a gold portrait unless you one-cycle. All right.
Oh, I'm at high 19, which is not too
Yeah,
bad.
this is like 19,950, so you're like right under 20.
Yeah. And for the marathon, I'm gonna be getting like a lot of backups anyways, so just to be
Yeah.
safe, want to make sure that we get above the 100 million.
All right, so we are getting ready to head into Area 3.
And we're gonna learn some interesting plot about this game pretty early on into Area 3 as to what this game is really about.
Yeah, this is where they uncover a lot of the story. Like, this is where you're going to be focusing on getting most of Mario's items. We are going to be seeing one in just a little minute here.
And I'm gonna get this little emerald. This is the second emerald we're getting. Emeralds are worth 800k, the rubies are worth 1 million, and the sapphires are worth 500k.
All right, and we see JJ using the water element there to skip having to go down the ladder. He's able to just drop cleanly down. And now we get our cutscene where we figure out what's going on with Mario. Because that is why we are here in the mansion.
Oh my god, he's trapped.
Yes, Mario is stuck in a painting. I'll be honest, this actually freaked me out as a kid. Like, this game actually scared me quite a bit. And I was so worried King Boo was going to turn around and see me. And some people don't realize you actually do have to suck up this ghost. So if you don't, the key will not spawn, so you can't move to the next area. But we've got it, and we're going to come back up here.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to pull out my water. When there's any element out, ghosts just won't spawn. So there's a ghost that's supposed to spawn behind this birdhouse, but if you keep spraying water, the ghost just will not spawn, and
Yes.
Luigi will not get scared.
Yeah, so we just picked up a note from Mario kind of explaining what's going on. And the interesting thing is, I don't know if it's just that Luigi can't read Japanese, but he needs us to talk to the fortune teller in order to know exactly what the note said.
I'm going to be picking up another ruby here while punching this guy. And he takes 3 punches, so while we're grabbing some stuff, we'll be grabbing the ruby, we'll be grabbing the key. Got a nice gold bar there.
Nice gold bar. We love to see gold bars, extra bills, any RNG we can get to help us out. Going for a third punch here. And then Biff's down for the count.
Alright, there are no boos on this side currently. Tried to go for a dupe there. Unfortunately missed it, but it's fine.
We've got time.
I'm hoping that around the time that I'm picking all this up, the boo will move to the side, but I doubt it. Most likely what's going to happen is I'm going to run over here and the boo's going to move. Which I think it did.
Yeah, it moved.
Yeah. I thought I heard it when I was talking, but I wasn't sure. But it did. These boos are really annoying.
Yeah, the boos move a lot. It seems like they know. Like, as you're walking up to the space where they are, they move to the opposite side of the room sometimes, and it can be challenging. There's so much just randomness to the game, but luckily the text boxes have been pretty short for the most part, which has been nice. Oh, yep. Going for the water shot there to skip having to wait for the door animation. The door's on fire up here, so it will be put out as we're walking up here. And we're going for our third element, which will be the ice element. Gonna be stepping up onto the ceiling. There were a lot of things that they added to this game. I love how much character they put into it, like having these things like the little arrows that let you go up onto the ceiling, and just things that they added to give the game a lot of life, given that you are just kind of walking through a mansion. All right. Gonna have perfect.
That actually went perfectly.
Really nice.
I tried as hard as I could to not pick up the ice element, because if the boo spawns and you grab the ice element, the boo will still fly around in that room and eventually leave. So I was trying to be in front of it. I set up a text skip as well, so there was no text for the boo. So that room went as well as it possibly could have.
Yeah, that was excellent. We are doing pretty well so far. Already 29 minutes in. And now we're headed to Nant's room. And I really like that you choose to route this way. So you actually have the option right now to go either to this room or to Petunia's room, which is the bathroom to the left here. And you can do either one, but if you clear the pearls in Petunia's room first, a lot of them fall into the bathtub. If you don't pull them all out of the bathtub, there is a chance that the pearl for Nan will not spawn. Because if there's too many in one loading zone, then you will not load any new ones. So that prevents us from losing that 1 million there.
I double cackled a few times, but he's at 100 HP, so I should not be too worried. Normally you freeze the boo there, but I was honestly very concerned that he would fly away. Because you can actually freeze the boos in place with the ice element, so you would freeze the boo, open up the chest, and then finish up the boo.
Yeah, and you will see people doing that a lot just to kind of save time, but better safe than sorry. So now this is Petunia's. We will be dealing with this bathtub here. Kind of messed up that she's actually like, we give her a freezing cold shower. Like, I'd be so upset. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard like people that prank each other, like pouring a pitcher of freezing cold water. But all right, going for another dupe attempt here.
I might be able to get some dupes here, hopefully. I'm gonna try.
Didn't get the big, but
oh, I duped both of them. Nice.
Oh, let's go! That was a double medium. Very nice.
I'm duping all the mediums, but no big pearls. But eventually, it'll add
adds
up to. Yeah, I was gonna say it'll add up to a big pearl eventually.
Yeah, money pace hasn't been bad. And we're getting ready to go into the moonshot area. We're picking up one of the final items that we need. Got a little cutscene here before we get a couple of ghosts.
Wine this ghost to spawn, but it's not spawning.
There it goes. I was wondering why we didn't get the spawn there. Yeah, you can try to double these up. They're kind of a pain if you don't, but...
Yeah, the first one's usually the main concern, but other than that, it's pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah.
We get a little bit of money as well.
Yeah, some money from the chandelier. All right.
Yeah, but this is the ideal for both the doubles. Spray or get the Shy Guy's mask off as the other one follows up. This one I do a bit of a unique strat where I burn this guy and then burn all of them, and I'll get both these guys' masks off.
And that just sets you up really nice there. Yeah, so the ghosts, you don't have to actually suck all of them up when it comes to these smaller ones. You can actually just use your element because they take 5 damage each time. So you can do that. And there's some areas where you'll see that JJ goes for that just because it's more convenient. Kind of a mix of both strategies depending on what makes the most sense. All right, now we're heading to the observatory. We're going to get a little cutscene here, and then we're going to be going for the moonshot, which is a lot harder than it looks. So I'm hoping for you. I got a little parage here.
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best. We'll see.
Parages for the moonshot.
The depth perception is really weird for this moonshot.
It's rough. So we have to take these like little yellow asteroids you'll see falling down. We have to hit the moon in order to get the next area to spawn. Get some parage. All right.
That should be good.
That looks great. Very nice moonshot. Let's go.
All right. Not bad.
Well done. All right. And then the path to the star. I thought this was so cool when I first played this.
It actually is really, really nice, and it's just like a little. It's a weird like section off from the mansion that just doesn't feel real.
It is, yeah, it is. It is unreal, and we are gonna see JJ's gonna be trying to pick up the star a little early to save, having to go all the way up the path. It is slippery, so it's a little tough there, but we got it. We have the star now. We're getting close to the point where we're gonna need to talk to the fortune teller Clairvoya. And she's gonna explain like what's going on with Mario.
Yeah, but usually like when during a casual playthrough, like you go to Clairvoya a lot of times, like throughout the run, because like you'll pick up an item and you'll run the Clairvoya, and I was like, oh, what's this?
Right.
But when you do it in a speedrun, you want to do it all at once, and when you do it all at once, it is a lot of mashing.
It's rough.
It's
yeah,
rough.
It's rough. Yeah, normally she kind of like breadcrumbs you into understanding like where Mario is and what happened. And this is going to be this is a tough portrait ghost as well. And we do try to just get the money. There's always going to be bills up in this ceiling fan up here. This ghost is going to shoot these balls out, and then they go in random directions and bounce off the walls. We need to hit him with all 3 in order to get him able to be showing his heart so we can actually suck him up. All right, good RNG. Really good ball
that
RNG.
one just went right in there.
Let's go. That's going to be an easy one cycle. Because if you do not get all of those and any of the balls he spawn, you have to wait for him to go all the way back around, take another shot. It's a big time loss. So. And there's a dupe! Let's go! Nice. First big pearl.
All right. Should be in here.
Yep, probably in the drawer there. Picking up our second diamond.
Yeah, I'm looking really comfy on money right now.
Yeah, things are looking good. That's definitely what you want to see. There is nothing more painful than seeing someone have a Rommel and think they have like a huge PB, and then they're like 99 million. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The 99% runs are real, so.
It's even more painful like when you know you're playing well, but you just keep missing the dupes, so it just like you can't get anything going.
This is a really challenging speedrun. There's a lot of frame perfect things you have to do, especially if you're going at the high level, and then just keeping track of your money and making sure you're adjusting accordingly is like a huge factor as well. All right, this is a projector room. You can actually only see the ghosts from their shadows. Luckily, we know where they are. Ooh, not quite.
Look, you missed the triple there, but double in the single is mostly fine.
Not a bad double.
All right, the ghost usually spawns in there, but it's not, so I'm gonna check this. It is.
There it is. Oh, getting a little bonk there from the boo. We are going to be trying to get this glove. Similar thing to what we did with the fire element.
I think I should be able to get it here.
It's going to be close.
Yes.
There it is. Luckily, the glove hitbox is pretty forgiving, so now we can actually save quit. And this is just a faster re-entry into the mansion.
Yeah, and you may ask, like, why not just land on the glove? When you land on the glove, Mario or Luigi will show it to the camera, but if you walk into it during the boo text box, actually skips that animation, which saves a few seconds.
All right, so now routing-wise, it's very convenient to head back up to Area 1, get the boosts that are in these rooms, because there is one in each of the main rooms.
I'm trying to get this fire as well.
Yeah, we're going to be getting the fire, because we're going to be heading... There is one room that's actually locked in Area 1 when you go through it, which is the twins room. This whole area is like one big family. So it's very convenient. Get the boost here, and then also get the twins.
Nice money RNG there.
Yep.
That ceiling fan can be really annoying. It can be simple, but it can also be really annoying.
Yeah, it can be. All right, so they want you to play hide and seek. They're going to be hiding in a bunch of boxes. Something I noticed when I watched your submission, JJ, is that you use the fire element on the boxes instead of like sucking them up. Normally it's like you're kind of guessing where the twins are, but if you use either the vacuum animation or use the element, the boxes that shake are the ones that have the ghosts here. So we kind of cheated the game, and then that gets the ghosts to spawn. So this will be your first room where we have 2 ghosts that we actually have to suck up, and we're getting a speedy spare here for some extra money. Unfortunately, spawns to the top, which is kind of awkward.
Yeah, it's really annoying to try and get the bills. The bills are the main thing that's really important.
Yeah, we really want to get as many of those as possible. And also just dealing with these 2 ghosts, they drop bombs. So it's kind of a pain sometimes dealing with them and also getting the money.
There you go.
There we go. All right, this one drops the pearls. Have another opportunity to make some extra money here.
Oh, it was very close. I felt like I got it.
I actually thought you were going to have it too.
Alright, so there's in here. Gonna grab this.
All right,
Make
now
our
we
way
have the
towards the
shoe.
I think that's the last item.
Yeah, a little bit of a continuity thing. I think that Mario has his hat when we look at him, but he lost his hat. I think it's maybe an extra.
Yeah,
He
spare hat.
packed. He packed, you know, because he was going on a vacation, he thought, to a mansion. So brought an extra set of clothes, and they're strewn throughout the mansion.
Yeah, another spot of really reading the radar here. It is blinking red, so that means it will be in this little spot right here, hopefully. It is not. So if you check areas that need to be checked. It moved again. Where is it? Oh, it's in here.
Yeah, this top right chest.
Yes.
I feel like it goes there a lot. All right.
That's the other frustrating thing is like even though you read the boo radar so well, it could just lead you to a decoy, and it just feels frustrating. I'm gonna be trying to set up another text skip here as well.
Yes, here we go. So this bed sheet here allows you to do another text skip, and that will be really nice. It's also positioned in such a way that you can just take a picture of this mirror in the back corner, which gets us positioned to head over to Clairvoyant more quickly at the end of this. So, all right, and there it is, another text skip. Let's go. All right, headed back down.
Alright, and I think I'll let you explain what's going on when it comes to Fortune Teller, because I will be mashing really fast.
Yes, so this is the Carvel Tunnel split. So we do have to shine our light on this this crystal ball here. Madame Clairvoyant gives you a lot of tips about where Mario is in the mansion. And then at the end...
I'm not close enough.
If we can talk to her. There we go. She's very, very descriptive as to what's happening, and she also has this whole spiel, like this whole lead up and this whole thing at the end. So it's a ton of mashing. You need to get through it as quickly as possible. And then once she's done her job and she's explained like what all the items are. Okay, a little shake there on the table.
I think I have to move a little bit after.
Yeah, your position I think is maybe a little bit, yeah. She just kind of gives up though and then lets you catch her. She's actually like an easier portrait ghost to capture than most of the others. I think because she's kind of going willingly.
Come on.
All right.
I think I'm still going to hit the table again. I don't know where I am, but it's fine. The very frustrating thing about mashing in this game is the fastest way to mash is to alternate between A and B, which is not ideal.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the table, yep. It's okay, we're taking a little moment between each one, you know, just giving her a break. We're being mindful of the fortune teller's voice. She's got a lot to explain here about what's going on with Mario, and she's helping us out, even though we're about to put her into a painting. So, you know, we'll give her a moment. And one more!
One more,
everybody, let's go! Alrighty.
My mashing is slowing down so much.
It's a lot, you know, and it's crazy. I understand, you know, you've been focused on the Sunshine grind because I know that we have a second place, currently very close to world record speedrunner here for Super Mario Sunshine. Previously had the world record, and both those games kind of kill your hands, so you gotta focus, you know, choose your battles a little bit here.
Yeah, the boo might be in here, but I don't want to check it just yet.
All right.
Just because I want to make sure I get this key.
Yep.
Because this boo, out of like all the boos, wants to move out of this room really fast.
Yeah, this booth can be a little unforgiving. I think part of it is that it's another room where there's a lot of things to grab onto. And an issue with the vacuum is it wants to latch onto anything other than these boos. So if you don't have the focus right on them, they will start to move away.
Yeah, so I remember that there was one boo that was maybe in the left side, but just moved. So we have no idea where it is now.
All right, this room's got a bunch of money in it. It's very convenient for us to get this boo because we got to come back here for the money, but also because we're going to be watering the plant again. And we'll see where the boo ended up. Okay, bad RNG there, but it's going to be in the second table there.
Hopefully I don't get cut this ball.
Yeah, like I was saying, with the vacuum locking on, it loves to lock onto these balls.
Like that.
Yep, and we caught it back. Okay, let's go.
I thought he was gone. That was really nervous.
Well done. All right, and we already have the boo that's in here. We'll open the freezer so we can get the ice when we're coming back, but we need the water for now so we can water the plant really quickly. We will be headed back here again after the next area, but it's almost ready. And we're getting close to our next boss, actually, and currently we're only at 23 boos, but the next boss is actually going to give us quite a few, which will get us towards the end of the game.
Yeah, there's a little bit here, and there's going to be a lot of an area 4. There's a lot of walking in this game.
Yeah, a lot of walking.
It's all about taking the perfect line.
I love that Luigi, he whistles in the rooms with the lights on because he's not nervous, and he kind of does this like chattering humming in the rooms where it's dark. Bill pace is looking really good right now.
I'm going to be picking up a lot of extra bills in this upcoming room because I get a very rare Safari mice, but I think it's good, and I've been an advocate for it when it comes to like needing backup money. And for Marathon, I want all the backup money.
Yeah, this can be a little bit of a challenging room just because these ghosts here, they actually do this like earthquake thing if you don't get them immediately, which can lose a lot of time.
That is not the mouse.
Not quite the mouse there.
That is the mouse.
There we go. So these golden mice are optional. The ones where there's cheese, you can always spawn them. And then there's some that can randomly appear in like hallways in some areas, but that mouse will give us some extra money. All right. And these ghosts, you have to freeze or use whatever element on them in order to get them to show their hearts. So that's kind of what we're doing there, while we're using the ice element first before we suck them up. Not a bad Safari room, though.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was actually really nice. Of course, though, the boo's not cooperating. All right. And it moved back to where it just checked. Starting to get towards more of the high HP boos. What JJ was just talking about earlier, they're freezing it to get the box opened. So
the key just bounced back.
The key bounces off. Oh my goodness. All right, there we go. All right, and we're about to head on, and we'll see the Game Boy Horror actually starts blinking like crazy once we get to that last area. As we head over here. And this
all
is
the boos.
my favorite boss battle in Luigi's Mansion. So I love bosses where it's like a big enemy that turns into a bunch of small enemies. My other one, shout out Shahala in Wind Waker. Boolossus is such a cool fight, and I'm really hoping we get some good luck here because this is pretty RNG heavy. We'll see with one cycle here.
Yeah, this one cycle is very, very difficult. It involves like dragging all the boos using the vacuum and then shooting like an ice shot sometimes too, just to try and get as many boos to turn into ice as possible.
Yep, we gotta freeze them before we can suck them up. The vacuum is pretty ineffectual without it, so we have to pop him first.
I was gonna say we're on a time limit as well.
Yep, because he will reform after a while, so we're going to just give him a bounce that's very consistent, and then you're gonna see JJ is gonna walk straight back to the left. He actually goes a little further than I've seen a lot of the runners, but it seems to work out pretty well. So the boos are all kind of coalescing in the center because we were sucking up.
That was not a good shot at all.
Ooh, yeah, we're gonna have a few loose ends, and the boos will reform after a little bit, and they of course go directly away.
I thankfully got down to 4,
yeah,
so it's a small.
You got most of them.
If it ends up getting larger than 4, then they break in a very weird way, but because they're 4, I can just catch them one at a time.
Yep. And you can kind of cheat if you look away from them. They kind of jump at you like that, and then you can suck them up. So it's pretty consistent if we're able to get them to cooperate. Of course, one boo is just not coming up, and then the other one isn't either. Oh, that might. Oh,
this one's not wanting to catch me either. Damn.
Yeah, okay. The boo RNG was just not cooperating there. Luckily, when the boo is small like this, you can just kind of maneuver him back into the unicorn to pop him again. So we should be seeing. Okay, there we go. So
once it's down to 1, it's fine.
Yeah, now it can go as long as we want. There we go. Area 3.
Area 3 is done.
All right, we're headed to Area 4, 47 minutes.
Looking very good on money pace.
All right. Well done.
Yeah, with that Boolossus, there are some times where with one ice shot you get all 15 boos, but other times it can just be like that where it's very rough.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tough one, but you were able to get it done, and we are moving on. This is the hardest by far area of the game. We're going to see a lot of crazy things going on here. The boo HP is high, so we have to be very thoughtful about where we're maneuvering because the boos are going to be able to leave the rooms, which we haven't seen so far. And what room it goes into can really impact how quickly we're going to be able to get through this.
Yeah, there's a lot of difficult rooms. There's also, again, more story. Like right when we get in, we're gonna try and go to the attic, and something will prevent us from exploring more in the attic.
Yeah,
and there's so many like fun like game theories as well with like stories of what's gonna be happening, and I'll explain it later. But
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what you're cooking up here.
Well, I don't know the exact things, but I'll just say watch the YouTube video because I don't know what it is. But yeah, I'm excited for this Area 4, hoping it goes well. But this is going to be it. This is, I guess, the quote-unquote home stretch, even though we have a little bit over half an hour left, or under half an hour.
All right.
We have mid 43, which I am very happy with.
That's great. Yeah, that's a good spot to be in because the bulk of our money is going to be here at the end. We still have our gold diamonds to get here.
We're actually going to be getting the first one right now.
Yeah. All right, we're going to be coming back for the third and final time to this backyard area. Pick up the water on the way. Water this plant one more time. This is why you put care and attention to things, just like a good speed run. You got to put time into it to make it, you know, something good. So get
These
some of
bills
these bills.
were not wanting to be cooperative.
All right, and there's our first gold diamond. Let's go.
My coins are a bit low, but I think it's just because I've been taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, fortunately, you seem to get a lot of bills.
Yeah.
You seem to get a lot of bills. So I've seen people like pretty far into Area 4 with this bill pace, so we're feeling okay on that. Hopefully we get maybe another couple pearl dupes. That would help us feel a little bit better, but not bad so far.
If I get one more dupe, I'm feeling very good on money. Right now, I'm still wanting to make sure that I'm above the threshold, but sometimes the suspense is fun, of not knowing if you have the money until you have to count it up.
I mean, if you think it's fun, then that's great. It gives me a lot of anxiety, but we'll see where things are at. I did see, yeah, someone said the Sunshine mentioned in the chat. I actually did want to talk about that announcement from the 120 relay.
Oh, yeah.
King J, we did a 120 SM64 relay last night, and he brought JJ up on the stage to explain that the next event is going to be a 44 versus 44 Sunshine any percent relay. So if we got any Sunshine runners out there thinking about going to Pace.
And even people who have not even touched Sunshine before, we are going to be very open in helping into trying to teach people specific shines as well. Like, I'll have a setup. There's going to be some people who have setups during most of Pace to try and teach people and help them practice for their shine for this race, because it's not just a run, it's a competitive race, and I want my team to win. So
not gonna lie, JJ, if I'm at that Pace event, like I might want to say hello. I might want to stop by where you are. So I love all kinds of different speed runs. So right now, what just happened, we did talk through it, my bad, is the power went out. So we're gonna have to go back down to the breaker room. This is an area that normally isn't locked, but the nice thing about the power being out, as EGAT explains, is that there is actually a portrait ghost that only appears when it's really, really dark. The hint they give you is that he really likes mirrors, but he's not in the mirror room, which really confused me when I played casually.
Yeah, he's in a very weird and niche spot, but
yeah, you wouldn't think to go back to this area because this is so early in the game. But we're gonna head to this wardrobe room. This is an RNG boo, like a ghost. It's just gonna show its heart randomly.
During my practice run, I think I was waiting here for about 30 seconds, but we'll see. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Let's go. That was a very cooperative Uncle Grimly, also known as maybe Uncle Frankerzy to some, if we got any Frankerzys in the chat, any Fire Dragon watchers. All right, we got the key, so now we can unlock the breaker room, which was originally not locked, but is now. And get the power back on.
Now, this is one of the few 200 HP boos that are one-cyclable. I'm going to try my best to one-cycle it. It is not the easiest. Shouts to Red for teaching me it and then me forgetting it anyways, but I'll try.
Yeah, it is a very tough one-cycle, which involves like kind of dragging this boo and dealing with, you have to deal with the tablecloth and everything, so we're going to get the power back on.
I think the boo is in the tablecloth, so I don't think I need to worry about that unless it moves. It just moved, so it's not in the tablecloth.
Yeah, of course.
So that is just a decoy over there. So it's going to be somewhere on the side.
Yep, going to be in these barrels here. Let's see how this goes.
So one of these, there it is.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. Even if we just get it really low, that'd be nice. It just pulls really hard to the left here.
Ah, I just lost him.
Okay. Not bad, though. Not bad. I think that was 75, right?
Yeah. As long as it's under 150, then I'm really fine.
Yeah, that's going to be easy to grab. Probably going to pipe room. It might come back to the breaker room, but it's really rare for it to do that.
Very nice double here.
That was a good double. And we have to deal these piles of dust that unfortunately.
Oh, that's a poison mushroom.
Okay.
I may get
Yeah,
hit
it's
here.
gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to get around. Okay, luckily it bounced left, and it's getting stuck in the chest. Yay! Let's go.
Okay, it's getting stuck.
Good RNG there at least.
I'd much rather just wait that out because I would have to wait for a while.
Yep, absolutely. And this boo can be a little tough because you can catch on this gold bar or on the hearts that drop, but luckily we were able to one-cycle it.
Now, there's a chance that the boo that we just lost may have gone back into the room.
Please. It's unlikely, but maybe.
It is not.
No, okay. We'll be seeing that boo later then. That is something that the runners have to keep in mind when they're doing their splits in these areas is whether or not they got the breaker boo because it is some time later on.
But now we're heading our way back to the attic. Now that power is back on, we can explore this area a bit more.
Yeah, well, and we didn't even get to really talk about it. When the power goes out, ghosts just continuously spawn like crazy. JJ did a really good job just keeping his flashlight pointed in such a way that we didn't get very many at all. So that's another thing that can lose time because a little jump animation every time the ghosts spawn.
Yeah, it could be really annoying, and just knowing, like, that's why right before the Blossus fight, I switched to sidestep mode, so Luigi could just keep looking in a specific direction compared to having to keep using the C-stick and keeping it perfect.
Yeah, they give you 2 control options in the game, which is really interesting. I don't really know, like, completely why they made that decision, but that is actually utilized in the speedrun.
Yeah, let's head to attic, and hopefully it'll go well. Fingers crossed.
Alrighty. See how things go as we head in here. The phone room. Luckily, we do not need to answer the phone. We just need to get these 2 skeletons.
Get one, then get the other one right here.
Very nice. Easy double here. This is where we start getting to the boos that are not really one-cyclable. So we will be just trying to get them
these bills.
get them down as much as possible. Also, the toy soldier room is a tough room. Got to get all these clocks on. And then there are 3 ghosts here. You have to get the keys off of their backs and then suck them up. You can try to go for like a double or even a triple here, but they pull so much that it's usually not optimal to do so unless you're really lucky with positioning. So we're going to see him quickly go for all 3 here. All right. That's 1.
This guy's pulling me.
He's really pulling. All right, that's 2. 1 more.
This is one with the pearls, which is the important one.
All right. And that's a clean 3 already.
Hey, I got dupe.
And a dupe. Let's go.
So I am very much good on money now.
Now we're in a comfortable spot. Yep, so he's not getting the boo here yet because we will just be coming back to that area later. Probably trying to track and see like where the boo is. These little guys here, because there's so many of them, it is most convenient to just burn them all instead of sucking them up. And then we'll be trying to get these faster ghosts here to follow us as close to the ladder as possible. All right, there's 2 burns. Nicely done. We're going to get pretty close. And that way you can kind of start climbing the ladder, hopefully, as...
think I got it? Oh, I did not.
Not quite. Just a little too far.
Yeah, but if you get close enough, then you can skip the animation of Luigi climbing the ladder because
Yep.
it'll happen during the chest cutscene.
All right. A little skip there to skip going down the ladder.
You can actually skip the landing animation as well, but it's very, very precise.
All right, now we're headed back down.
Now, I heard the boom move, so I'm just going to check a few places over here first.
All right. There it is. This is a 300 HP boost, so we're going to try to go for a clean 2 cycle here. We want to avoid, JJ mentioned earlier, that it can actually double cackle if you hear that sound. Then you actually lose that R pump, and ooh,
He's going that way. It's a bit unfortunate.
Ooh, to the left. Yeah, unfortunately, going to have to go back into the hallway. You lose a bit of time here. It's nice if it goes into this room because then you can just immediately pick right back up, but it's going to move.
We'll find out where he goes eventually,
yeah.
but for now, we'll leave him be.
All right, so now we're heading to the armory. These ghosts are all hidden like in the suits of armor and in the chest. They can be pretty obnoxious. There's a lot of things in this room. Hopefully we get some money from this other chest here, maybe.
Nah,
No. Okay.
we're comfy on money.
Okay, we're not going for it. I'm liking the confidence. All right. Setting up here. See if we can get this. Nice triple. Let's go. Well done.
Now finding this boo is a bit difficult.
Yeah, we gotta hope. It's nice if it's in one of these here.
It is not. So now it's all the way back over here, but then it moved, so it
Okay,
might be back here again.
maybe in the middle?
I think it's this one. Yes.
All right, and there's a couple different strategies people like to use for this boo. It does tend to kind of cheat to the right. If you stand on the right, it'll go for an attack. But going for opting and killing it in the middle is really nice because you're not catching on all these suits of armor. It's really easy to lose this boo and then have to go back into another room and deal with it. So that was a really nice one cycle on
The
this
really
boo here.
also annoying thing is that it's a very laggy room as well. So my
Yeah.
R pump timing is very different compared to any other room.
All right, you're killing it so far. So now we're on to Jarvis. It's an interesting ghost. He wants you to play this freezing game with him where you try to guess like what jar he's gonna come out of, but you can just kind of spam your ice element here. There's plenty and there's another, you can refill it easily if you run low. So the nice thing is just getting him and then checking these little vases here. See if we get any bonus money. Hopefully no mushrooms. See if we get anything. Nothing so
Fortunately,
far.
nothing. Gotta make sure I have enough ice as well.
Yep, gotta restock
Check
here.
one more.
All right.
Gold
Hey,
bar.
there's a gold bar. Let's go.
I almost missed that guy.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. We'd have to restart. You have to get him every time to get him to spawn, so. All right, see what he comes out of. All right. And luckily, no mushrooms
Please
here.
don't hit me. Okay.
Yeah, go to the right with the jar.
No,
Oh, let's go! Our third dupe. Oh my goodness. Money is
there's a-
looking good.
This boo is going somewhere. We will find out eventually. Yeah, it's
Yep. Okay. Unfortunately, this room is. We're gonna see kind of what a pain it is to try to suck the boo up past the armor. You can see how it's
Let's
just
go that
pulling away. All right. Luckily, getting closer like that is gonna help. It's gonna get pretty low. I don't think we'll be
Hopefully
able
it
to
goes
get
up.
Yeah.
It goes up. Okay. I'd
Okay.
much rather him go up, and then I
Very
can find out
nice.
where this other boo is.
Alrighty, 38. This will be easy.
We go in here? Yeah, okay, so he is in the other room to the right. Just honestly kind of annoying, because there's a lot of areas to check in there compared to the room that we were just in.
Yeah.
Did I get this key? I was very worried that I missed that key for a
double
second.
checking, double checking. Okay, here we go.
So the boo may be in here.
All right, let's hope that it is. Because
Is
that
not.
would definitely be convenient. All right, there it is. All right, another 300 HP boo. You see JJ standing on the left here because we do want this boo to just go straight up. We do not want it to go to the left into the hallway, although it looks like it wants to.
It really wants to.
All right, and it is going to go up. All right, and it's at 139, so we should be good to get a nice clean 2 cycle here. It's very convenient. Oh, as long as it doesn't get away from us.
Oh, that's a lot of double cackles, but I
Yeah.
think we're fine.
I think you got it. Oh, it's going to be
No,
close.
I did
no,
not.
not quite.
That's honestly the most unfortunate way for that to happen.
That was really unfortunate.
I think it's like this chair.
I think it's the chair.
Oh, it's this chair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Of
this is the
course.
pain of Attic. Yeah.
All right, 161 is going to be tough. All right. Oh my goodness.
They're both going that way.
That's crazy. Yeah, the boos do have a mind of their own. They do what they want to do. They kind of seem to know when you really want the run to work out too. So.
And I have no idea where that other boo went, so I'm forced to check the other way.
Yep. And you can't suck up the booze in the hallway unless the light's on. So unfortunately, like even if it's 1 HP, you're kind of just like.
Yeah, there's that boo.
All right. This be a nice quick one
And
here.
I'm also gonna get some icy while I'm at it, because
Might
they
as
just
well.
refill
Pretty
the
low.
elements. Oh, let's learn more about Van Gore. This is just pure RNG, and we lose about 5 seconds just because of that text box.
Yeah, so EGAD's telling you about the painter that creates the ghost portraits, and it is a long, lengthy description. It's kind of to let you know, because that is like the portrait ghost that you need to get at the end to get to King Boo. But unfortunately, he loves to talk about it over and over and over again. And it can eat up a lot of time if that happens.
All right, there he is.
All
Alright,
right.
a bit of a rough addict. They were both left at very low HPs, but...
All right, but we're headed up to Sealed Room next.
Yes. But that just is the Area 4 experience. It happens, but...
It is Area 4, and we still got a ways to go. So, you know, maybe things will go better in the last little bit here, but...
That's true.
So
And
far, not bad. And the money's looking great.
Yeah,
That's
the money's
what we really,
great, so we don't have to worry about the money.
That's what we need. That's what we need. All right. So this is another area where we have an opportunity to try to get multiple ghosts all at once. We're just going to be getting these spawns.
There's a golden mouse here, too.
Ooh, the mouse did spawn. Gonna go for it.
A lot of bills there.
All right. So all these ghosts spawn at once. And we're going to try to position it. Very nice. Very nice double there. Clean, clean. And then to get out of the sealed room, we have to actually warp out.
Yeah, pull this painting.
And this is the room. If you've played casually and wonder what like that boarded up room is, that's what it is. Alrighty.
104, okay.
Yeah, we're on pretty good time. Not bad. We're doing all right.
Okay, now we're heading down to the basement. Gotta get a couple more boos. Gotta get the infamous Weston, which is a very frustrating boo to one cycle.
Yeah, Weston is a big challenge. He just wants to be cold. You know, I think a lot of the portrait ghosts, the thing about them is like just they want to be left alone to their own devices, and Luigi's here bothering them when really it's the boos that are the problem.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're in the pipe room. Now this room is another room there's potential to go for a one cycle. It's actually the only one where you can one cycle a really high HP boo. It is a tough one cycle to do, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we have to unveil or stop the water flow so the waterfall will stop and we can actually get this chest that's back here. Now there's gonna be two boos in here. We have to get the breaker boo that we missed initially, and then we have to get the actual pipe room boo.
Okay, and the breaker boo is pretty low, so that should be easy enough.
Yeah,
there's the breaker boo.
I'm kind of happy I'm getting this one first.
Yeah, nice to have it out of the way. All right, so now we'll be left with the boo that's supposed to be in here, 300 HP. You can one cycle it. Unfortunately, getting that long text again.
I think it's gonna be back into this box again.
But it does require pretty precise positioning. You're gonna have to move. You basically just keep the boo from walking out either through the bottom or through the right. And so you'll see JJ is gonna be trying to cross like up here and then back down left.
Yeah, he's gonna be coming back. I think I caught him.
Oh yeah, you got him. You got him. All right, kind of trying to maneuver around him a little bit there. See if we can get him to turn around. He turns around again.
But that's I ran out of cackles.
Yeah. That was really good though. Getting him down to 53, like
Frank goes back. Okay, he does. Okay.
Very nice. You want him back in the pipe room. That is definitely the easiest place to get him.
Yeah, that's honestly the best outcome because he can either go continue going right or he could go down, which is honestly even more annoying because he'll go into a dark western room that isn't lit up and you can't catch the boo.
All right, and also just dealing with the ice in there as we're about to see. It is a very slippery room.
Yeah, which makes catching Weston very difficult.
Slippery and precarious. Weston just wants to be cold. But we do not allow it. We burn him, and then he drops these icicles, and he has this other animation that he can do. Fortunately, not getting it off just in time. Try to one cycle.
Nice.
Very nice. Really well done. And then we also have to get a boo in here.
I should not check this. Yeah, I have to make sure I get the key because I'm trying to get a save warp ideally.
All right.
Yeah, the boo
Very
is there.
nice. Very nice. Okay, let's see if we can get this one cycle here. It is 150, which is not too bad, but with the sliding around with the ice, it can be tough.
I think I should be good.
So far, looking good.
The pearls.
The pearls are kind of pulling
The
up.
pearls.
Ah, just barely.
I moved around. I was trying to avoid the fire, and I avoided the fire, and then I forgot about the pearls in the distance.
Yep.
But it's left at 3 HP, so we'll just grab them and
It'll
then
be quick.
move on to the final section of the game.
All right, we are wrapping up pretty quickly right now. 107.52 as we get ready to move on to the last couple of spots. We actually have most of the boost now and most of the portrait ghosts.
And now we're going to be heading up to Soupy, which is another very annoying ghost to one cycle. Not really because of like the slipperiness, but there are these action figures that, or these dolls, I guess, that really try and knock you out.
Yeah, she's got like some dolls, she's got some teddy bears, she's just throwing them at you. To be fair, I think it is kind of deserved because of how she earns her name, so we'll see how that goes.
There's one room that we have to clear first, which is like, for some reason, just very loud, because there's a lot of ghosts that spawn at the same time, and they don't really cap the volume, so they just add on top of each other. So it's going to be a very loud ghost spawn here.
Yep, there it is.
Good morning, everyone.
All right, hope you were not all tucked in at home, but you know, you probably don't want to miss the end of this run. We are getting really close. 47 boos. There's 2 quick ones here, and then we'll have Vanguard.
Okay, that one is just stuck on the chair.
Yeah, it is. You're not going to be able to choose, like, yep, there we go. There's the 2-piece. And then we're going to be headed on to Soupy. We'll get the last boo that's in that room on our way out. And this is just messed up, honestly. I think that Luigi...
No, Luigi's in the wrong here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. All right, and Soupy, unfortunately, is going to be quite upset now. We are going to get her. She is a tough ghost to one cycle. Let's see if we can get it here. You'll see from the top left corner the doll's coming in. All right, nicely done.
And I entered the door here, too, to avoid another chest animation spawning.
Yep. All right, and now the room's all back the way it's supposed to be. Oh, it was close. All right, and then we just got a couple of boos here. I believe they're 100 HP boos, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this boo is really not bad.
They're pretty quick and easy. Yep, 100 HP boos. Some people actually go for, there is a really risky strategy. You can get these boos kind of low and then put them out in the hallway. Because it's lit up, you can actually suck the boos up in the hallway. So some people go for a double between this room and the other to avoid one of the text boxes and get a little skip there. It is really risky, though, because if they go back into the Soupy room, they have to go back through both of these doors.
Nice. I was really hoping it wasn't the cloth.
Yeah, all right. Very nice. Going to be a clean 49th boo here. And we are getting ready to head to the final Portrait Ghost and the final boo. And finally see what EGAT has been yapping about this whole entire time. Van Gore, the prolific painter of Portrait Ghosts. Just a passionate guy. And we're going to go ruin his day too now. All right, and here we are.
All the ghosts that we have fought over the course of this run. And we find out that Van Gore is the one who has been creating them.
Yep. Van Gore is responsible. This is going to be a cool little battle here. We're going to see a lot of opportunities to hopefully get a lot of ghosts all at once because this is a very cyclical fight. So I'm hoping and praying for you. Get some quick grabs here on these. See how it goes. All right, and I do want to say thank you. We have an anonymous $5 donation entering in for the SM64 VHS of the 70-person 70-star relay raffle, which is a signed VHS. A lot of the runners at the venue signed. So good luck to you. Thank you, anonymous, for supporting the urban arts. Thank you. All right, and so far Van Gore fight's going pretty well. Nice.
That one's particularly annoying because the grabbers are like not exactly lined up, so.
Yep. All right, gonna try to get the masks off. Very nice. Very clean Van Gore so far. These also can be a big pain. Very nice. Let's go. Got some clean movement here.
Yeah, now that we picked up fire in the last room, all we have to do is just burn these guys.
Yep. Always remember your fire because those things are a pain if you do not one-cycle them. And now we've got the final Portrait Ghost, our final opportunity at a Pearl Duke here. And we are getting close to the final boss fight of the game. We're going to get our last key here, which allows us to unlock the door in the basement.
Oh, I didn't even get to try.
didn't even get the opportunity. Unfortunately, the key had other plans. But
I
that's
duped
okay.
one. Might have duped a medium again. I've duped so many mediums over the course of this run.
Yeah, it's been pretty incredible. And your build count is looking great. 20 gold bars is about where you expect to be with gold bars. And this is going to be a really quick boo fight. So one last thing that we're going to see here JJ is going to go for is trying to get the boo to be sucked up into the vacuum on the left side here in such a way that we can actually grab the gold diamond as it's being done so we can do a save quit. It's going to be close.
Nice.
Hey, well done.
I thought it was going to spawn out of bounds, I'm going to be honest. I was
I was a little worried about that
very worried
too,
on where that was
'cause,
spawning.
that pretty much guarantees that we don't have enough money if that happens. So luckily we did get the diamond, which saves a little bit of time. You don't have to take the mirror warp down. And we are headed down for the final fight. We're going to be fighting King Boo here. It's going to be really crazy. There's a lot of different strategies for this last battle here. You actually can one cycle this fight. I don't know if you're planning on trying to attempt the
I
one cycle.
won't attempt it. If I have put a little bit more practice into this, I may have, because I do know how the trick works. It's a very complex trick. It's very cool when it's done correctly, but if it goes wrong, it goes wrong.
Yeah, it does. It is really challenging. We've had a great run so far. There is a lot of money you can actually get here at the end. Like it's referred to as the altar money. There's a bunch of bills, and then there's also a blue gem, but I don't
It
think
adds
we're
up to about $1 million, but I don't think we need
I
it.
really don't think we're going to need it. So we will go into the final King Boo fight here. And then we'll be done. We'll be wrapped up. And we're on pretty good pace. Not bad for a showcase run.
Yeah, this should be about a mid 116, so not too bad. Given the very unfortunate area 4 that was going on. But other than that, I've been very happy with this run. I'm happy
great.
I got to show off a lot of dupes, because that's like the main thing I was like comfortable with, and I actually went very well. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to go for a 2 cycle here. The goal is to get him below 250 HP after the first cycle. But again, we'll see. It really depends on where Bowser shoots the icicles.
Yeah, the cycle is really important in this fight because if you get him below 200 HP, then he does this really long animation where he puts his head on upside down and he kind of wanders around the course. So we want to get a clean 2 cycle here.
I'm like half debating trying a 1 cycle and just seeing how it'll go. But I don't want to embarrass myself. But I'll give it a shot.
You got this.
I'll give it 1 attempt.
All right.
If it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well.
All right, so we're going to see how the bombs line up. He's going to, you need to shoot Bowser's head here, but you normally wait for him to kind of like lean down. He's going to shoot. Oh, yeah, not going to work. That's all right, though. We can easily just get it during the regular animation here. It is a complex trick. Basically, if you shoot at the top, you can actually get it to where you shoot a second time. If you shoot the head like this with the other bomb, then the head's gone for a really long time. It allows you to,
where are you going?
Okay.
That's not good. I might just go for a 3 cycle, unless I get this.
All right, we can see maybe there'll be a second attempt. He's not moving, so we can get the same kind of bomb spread. All right, so he's going to get some HP down. After a few seconds, the Bowser head will get close, and he's going to try to shoot this other ball.
Oh, I hit the boo.
Almost. King Boo, unfortunately, sucking that up, but we're going to...
That's fine.
That sets us up for an easy 3 cycle. We don't have to worry about that whole animation. Nice attempt. That was actually a really good attempt. All right, and going for the headshot again. Maybe just show it off. Maybe see like if you can at least see what it looks like here. All right, get him down. All right, yeah, gonna be safe here.
I thought I was gonna hit by the bomb.
No,
Time's coming up.
There we go.
I was a little bit late for that, but it's fine.
Yeah, it was like a 117.
It was a very, very low 117.
Maybe like 117.01. All right.
But we are very comfortable on money.
So that's it. That's the run.
We just have to count up the money, make sure that we have 100 million, but we have gotten many mediums. We got 2 big pearl dupes. So
yeah, things are looking good.
We just have to go through this cutscene and talk to EGAD once more.
Are you sure you only got 2? Because I thought you had 22.
Oh, I may have gotten 3.
I think you had 22 pearls there. You might have duped Van Gore, like somehow before the key grab. It didn't look like you did, but you had 22 pearls, so I think you got 3. All right, so we have to wait through all this. It is agonizing. Being in the chat when you think someone has a PB and you're not yet sure for this long while we go through this whole cutscene, like, it is rough.
Especially like when it's not known, because there are times where like you get a bunch of dupes and you know you're like 103, 104 million, so you know the run's fine. But there are times where it's like the dupes were iffy, you're not sure, and then you end up like either barely getting the 100 million or barely not.
It can be close sometimes, so we are now going to see the last of the ghosts turn back into portraits, including King Boo and Bowser Head to commemorate this battle we went through here. And then we'll finally get to see if this would be considered a valid 100% run or not.
And we'll find out if I'm allowed back here, because if I did a run that does not count, we'll know.
Alrighty.
We'll go through this very nice and slow.
Maybe get some prages, some holds. All right. Moment of truth.
Just gonna put the controller down.
Gonna
and
do
we'll
the
just go
slow count.
The slow count, get all the money.
All right, see how it adds up. We got 1 blue gem, we got 2 emeralds, 5
5
reds. All right, 5 diamonds. We got our 1. That's the King Boo crown. For some reason, it's only worth 5,000. And we got our
22.
2 golds. 33.
103.
Woo!
Not even close.
Let's go. That's a valid 100%. 117.03 GGs. Thank you, everybody. Get some GGs, some claps, some Drakes, maybe some Kendricks even if you're feeling it.
That is true.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll watch this final little cutscene of Mario being transported back into human from painting form.
Yes, the reverse painting. And he makes us wait for all those other portraits first before we can reverse Mario out. So he's been in a painting for like who knows how long.
Yeah. But during this, I just want to say thank you guys for watching this run. I know that I'm not the best LM 100% runner. If I'm being 100% honest, there are a lot of very, very talented 100% runners that you should check out. They allowed me to showcase this run at pace because LM is just an amazing game that deserves to be showed off. So definitely watch some of the top LM action. If you enjoyed watching me and want to see more of me, I'm going to be grinding Mario Sunshine. But
gotta get that world record back.
I do have to get my world record back, but I may come back to this game eventually. We'll see. I keep going back and forth, and people really want me to play this game more and more. But
I mean, not to be biased, but
yeah,
I kind of want to see the Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion is a very fun game, but it's just very grind heavy.
Yeah, it requires a lot. So yeah, good luck on the Sunshine run. It's been awesome. This moment in the game like made me so emotional the first time because he's like laughing so hard that he cries.
Yeah, but I will hand it over to commentary to close it out.
All right, everybody. This was Luigi's Mansion, 100%. GG's, JJ, well done. Go follow JJsrl everywhere. This was Lucky Owl 360 on comms. Well done, super excited, and happy to let us go on to commercial break. Thank you all.